Good morning, all. Today, in my presentation, we will discuss about how GenAI make customer experience much more fast, much more empathetic, and much more efficient. Let's start. First of all, what analysts say? IBM Institute for Business Value. 62%, let's say, of the global executives say that generative AI will be a game changer in customer experience. Specifically, they measure the impact in 3 dimensions, let's say in 3 domains. First of all, the voice. The voice conversational AI, they say that in 1 year from now will triple the use cases from 27% that large organizations utilize generative AI in the voice will go to 75. And actually, we see that happening. There are a lot of good pilots already and a lot of cases deployed already. Regarding the chat and generative AI, from 42% to 84%, so generative AI infusion in the chat bots, let's say, will double in 1 year. And the outreach, how we connect with customers, how we find customers and open some leads for marketing, for customer service, again, will have a very, very big increase. Now, at the same time, the IBM Institute, let's say, for Business Value, a research institute, say that there is a lot of worries about generative AI and if it is trustworthy, if it follows ethics. 4 or 5 leaders are concerned. There is a new era. We will come, let's say, very, very quickly to speak with machines. We already play with generative AI and assistance in our daily work, but very quickly we will come to have direct contact with machines. So the human-to-human relation will be transformed to something human-to-machine or machine-to-human gradually, regarding the customer service at least. So what the research says that generative AI, in order to be effective, needs to have empathy, needs to connect with empathy with us, not just a wooden box, let's say, and they need to offer trustworthy experience. Completing the 2 aspects, trustworthy and empathy, customer generative AI services can request some more data and give us more personalized communications. I was in Gartner Expo in Barcelona 2 weeks ago. The Gartner IT Expo, it was a very, very big global event, 7,000 participants. Key point of this Gartner Expo in Barcelona was artificial intelligence. So I bring from this expo some highlights of top analysts about how they see customer experience transforming in the next years. First of all, from the right, all organizations, let's say, the 70% say that they are in the early stages. And we see that. We see telcos, big banks, energy, insurance, they start to do the first steps in customer experience in GenAI. 76% of the global organization expects that GenAI will make much more efficient the communication with the customer, but at the same time, it will have cost savings. Cost savings make faster, let's say, communications and utilize more efficiently the internal resources. Let's think what Gartner says, how it was the chatbot communication with the company, with the bank, with the e-shop prior GenAI and what it happens within GenAI. We can see here that chatbots before generative AI needed from us to do a lot of interactions. In these interactions, we understood the flow of the chatbot because it was just a rule-based. So we try to understand how the system works in order we get the result and the information we wanted. And this was many interactions, and except our goal, we needed to understand how the chatbot works. Now, with the interactions after generative AI, we only need to know our goal to state what we want to do, and the system bring us in the right flow and give us the right information. So the way that we will design the digital products will change. This is another game changer. We don't mean also customer experience change, let's say. We mean how we design the digital products and the digital interactions with customers. In this Gartner Expo, it was one new box, let's say, discussed about the hottest customer experience use cases in the market right now, and how they estimate the next year to utilize these use cases, the global companies. This square here, top right, is the likely wins, is customer experience use cases that are feasible to be implemented and have a lot of potential of business value engaged. The top left are calculated risk, customer experience use cases, more difficult to achieve, with a lot of, let's say, potential for business gains. And marginal gains are supportive use cases. Let's see, first of all, the likely wins. Over here, Gartner, let's say, evaluate what are the likely wins of the first GenAI, let's say, or the second or the third use cases that large organizations will roll out next year. First of all, likely wins, customer journey actions, analyze behavior of the customer and suggest opportunities that build trust. You will see this trust and ethics in every GenAI, let's say, use case by Gartner. Second, real-time personalization. Okay, we have the pre-cooked campaigns, predictive models, machine learning models that say for each one of us that we have this need for a product, but we need to make this personalization in real time, event-based, when we really have it as a need, not at the end of the month when the system calculates a prediction score, let's say. And contact routing. Contact routing is something very important, because what it means the GenAI, let's say, application needs to understand our request, to classify it, to prioritize it, and it needs, after this categorization, to connect it with the right channel or the right human agent that has the top score of service for the specific request category. So the contact routing is something that it's too hot and it will bring a lot of values. Let's go to calculate risk, are more intellectual, let's say, more complex use cases, customer creativity amplifier, how to generate new ideas for offerings, generate journey maps in a strategic way, digital twin experience for testing. I will not drill down to this, but I believe if we would like to take two things in our mind, and we would like from this, let's say, heat map, to see what are the use cases that have feasibility of implementation and top gains, top returns for business results, we could say it's the contact routing, real-time personalization. Contact routing to understand customer requests, to link it to the right agent or to the right decision, to the right channel, and be able to provide hyper-personalized communication services or even cross-sell, upsell to the customers. But when we say customers now, this was something very, I wouldn't say new, but very mind-blowing that I saw in Barcelona. Which customer experience are we building our strategy for? Everybody will say, okay, gold customers, silver customers, big value, small value, but we will think what? We will think of human customers. Guess what? Gartner says that it's a very, very big global trend from now on, the non-human customers. Because GenAI opened a totally new door for non-human customers. And what does that mean? For the first time with this technology, customers can be manufactured. Billions of machine customers are on the way, and we will explain why, and somebody will start serving them. If we do not, somebody else. What is machine customer? Is a non-human economic actor that obtains goods or services in the exchange of what? Of direct or indirect payment or gain. Let a little bit drill down to that. In the machine customers era, first of all, we have the seller bots, meaning artificial intelligence machine learning machines that try to find leads, connect to us and sell us something, but at the same time, we have the different direction, the customer bots. Customers that are actually bots, and they connecting to our service to buy a service or to buy a product. At this point, the use cases globally that running today are in the first pillar, what is called bound, purchases made of specific rule-based decision that we have fed in the machine, not actually some big AI thing. The second pillar, adaptable, that it's coming in front of us, make optimized selections among competing products. So not to buy this coffee, but to try to find alternative providers and alternative product to make the automatic purchase. And autonomous, that in 10 years from now, this machine customer will have the tendency to be autonomous. How this can be done? It's easy. Let's say already our mobile wallets, not wallets, but clocks, let's say, can call the emergency if they see a significant event in our health or something that happened. But imagine that Tesla already requests service for the car automatically, the car requests the service, or the car pre-orders a fault equipment that it sees that it has an issue. Walmart does negotiations with GenAI with suppliers. Carvana, used car agency, let's say, in US, receive messages from sellers and negotiate the selling price of a car. Amazon, smart shelves, when we can load them, and if something, let's say, get out of stock, automatically send the order to Amazon. Unilever, the same with machines, with ice creams, HP, we think, or review bots. These are the simple cases. Gartner has much more extraordinary cases already. The thing is that the infrastructure is there. 50% of products are digital. 15 billion of products are connected. And the next, let's say, years, trillions of the world economy will relate to machine seller and machine buyers. Now, how we can harness all of this, what we can do, what technology we should have in order to be able to go deep in this era. Like performance with IBM partners, platinum partners, and we work with IBM software. And the proposition of IBM is the Watson X platform. Watson X for AI, build, train, validate models. Watson X for data, all the data governance and the data distribution and transformation. And the governance part for keeping the work ethical, keeping the work regulatory, and having trustworthy AI. Watson X data supports on-premise and on-cloud deployments with databases, with lake house approach, with multiple query engines and storage tiers. Cloud Pak for data have all the data dictionary, data glossary, personal data identification. Somebody can search in this vast era of data and find the information and data to make the analysis. The Watson X AI, foundation model library, prompt lamp, tuning studio to develop custom AI models and data science and machine learning operations. With such a platform, you are able to train your models, to mitigate bias and hallucinations, to support compliance, to customize it, and very important, to be safe. The use cases that IBM position relate to customer service, to marketing for cross-sell, upsell, but also to internal customer for HR automation. And there are specific cases for agents, how to empower human agent, how to empower a chatbot, and how to empower a conversational AI approach. Let's see an example. A store, let's say, McDonald's, try to understand the customer reviews in Google. Easily can do a summary for a low-score shop, let's say, and says that it has close to 2,000 reviews, And very important is that the trained LLM, large language module, can do a summary and say that this low score is due to a small store with limited seating and often some homeless people outside. The staff is friendly and efficient, but the food is not always up to par. So immediately, without doing any fancy, let's say, IT thing, immediately you have with a human language what you need to improve. Obviously, what you can improve is the quality of the food, let's say. Something happening in this shop. And the agent can even have a pre-cooked answer from the LLM, what can propose to the customer. And this pre-cooked answer, let's say, the direct response, the agent can look at it and press it, and in some very bad, let's say, reviews to send some incentive or something else. Another case with banking sector, with the WatchOnX assistant, you can orchestrate all of this. Let's say you can create a first action to communicate a chatbot to the customer. This action can utilize a lot of templates like access customer records, find its account balance, make a payment. And all of this orchestration with a lot of pre-built templates can support, let's say, a chat situation. Somebody who needs to transfer money does not log into the web, let's say, of the bank, says, I transfer money. You access the customer data. You ask him from which account to which account you want to transfer money, and you do the transaction. So it's not only fancy model, but it's also to orchestrate them in the real world. And let's see now all of this technology, let's say, GenAI orchestration data LLMs, how have been used 2 months ago, let's say, in the US Open. 1 minute for a video.
This is the US Open, the final Grand Slam of the season, when New York becomes the epicenter of the tennis world, a place where you can feel the pulse of the city. On hot summer nights, under the brightest of lights, where champions and challengers compete for one more chance at immortality. But where you see tennis, IBM sees data. They see every game and every match. They know the speeds, the stats, and the scores. They see the movements of the players and the position of every ball and every point. With the help of IBM WatsonX, the USTA is transforming this data into world-class digital experiences in the US Open app, generating spoken commentary for hundreds of match highlights, calculating likelihood to win, and for the first time ever, creating AI-generated match reports for every men's and women's singles match. IBM is keeping its finger on the pulse of the US Open so that millions of tennis fans around the world don't miss a beat. IBM WatsonX in the US Open app. Learn more at ibm.com/USOpen.
Μόλις είδαμε την εφαρμογή GenAI σε massive scale για εκατομμυρίων αποθεατών, είτε από digital κανάλια. Είδαμε real-time narration, άρα να μιλάει το GenAI, να περιγράφει έναν αγώνα, να κάνει summary, να δείχνει για ποιο λόγο έχασε κάποιος, τι δεν πήγε καλά, όλο αυτό με ανθρώπινη γλώσσα. Άρα, σαφώς υπάρχει ένας game changer ό,τι αφορά το customer experience. Σαν performance, είμαστε μια εταιρεία, έτσι κλείνοντας θέλω να σας πω, πάνω από 30 χρόνια ελληνική αγορά. Κάνουμε μεγάλη έρευνα και ανάπτυξη πάνω στο κομμάτι των data and analytics, and I will switch now again to English. For data-driven decision-making, we have a specialized team of scientists that work in the data area, but also in the AI area, delivering also new innovative GenAI use cases. One of these use cases, this will be the last slide, is an enterprise data and AI governance cloud platform installed in a major energy operator in Greece called Elpedison, received 8 national-wide awards this year, in Business IT Excellence Awards in Cloud Computing. And what that it does, it puts a structure of process and ethics, let's say, in all the data lakehouse landscape of the company, focusing in the data governance policies, but also how these data are utilized from AI modules and AI initiatives. Thank you a lot. I will be here for anybody that would like to discuss. Thank you.